Good luck. I'll see you at the finish line, wherever that may be.
Welcome to the Shermer High Alumni Association. I'm Kristin.
I'm Janine.
And I'm Carol.
And we rewatch movies from the 80s to determine, did that age well?
This week's movie is Midnight Madness, a chaotic overnight race where the rules don't matter. The teams get weird, and no one makes good decisions. It's fast, it's ridiculous, and it somehow gets funnier the later it gets.
Join us as we rewind, rewatch, and remember the decade that shaped us.
Doesn't matter what you do.
You gotta play. Sunshine and Candy freak me the fuck out, man.
What?
Sunshine and Candy?
Yeah.
These blank stares. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi, Kristin.
Welcome to the US of A.
Thank you. It's great to
Welcome
be back.
We've missed your face.
What movies did you guys do when I was gone?
Oh, pop quiz.
Annie?
Oh, Caddyshack,
Right.
Short Circuit, and Annie.
Yeah.
Okay. And so just to give me a quick rundown. So Short Circuit, what was the cringe factor on that one? Okay, cool. That's neat. I guess I'm just going to have to listen to our podcast.
Hold on.
Oh, the Indian guy.
Yeah,
That wasn't
Ben.
Indian. Ben.
That was our big
Ben.
cringe.
Oh,
Ben was a cringe.
The fact that they took Fisher Stevens, who's a white guy, and dyed his hair and put a bunch of makeup on him and gave him a fake Indian accent. And then he makes all these very inappropriate jokes.
oh no.
Oh, there's
Yes.
girls there. They have boobs and legs.
Yeah.
And oh, did you stick your tongue down her throat?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So this rated on the cringe scale.
Oh, yeah,
it did. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we
okay.
both gave it a totally.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, how
There's-
did that compare up against Caddyshack?
Oh, Caddyshack was...
We were actually bored with Caddyshack.
Yeah.
Honestly, I felt Midnight Madness was 1,000% funnier than Caddyshack.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. And then what was the other movie? Annie. Oh, you did the 1980s Annie, the OG.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Super cringy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He rented a child for a week. He is
Or
a
tried to.
wealthy white man who rented a child.
Right.
You can't even
Cringy.
go to a pound and rent a dog for a week, let alone a human
It's the
being.
fact that he had money, that he got to rent a child.
So it was just like a precursor to Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes,
Absolutely.
He should be. Yes, Daddy Warbucks should be on the list.
Oh, he might be on
Yes.
the list.
He might be. Yeah, that was definitely
Guaranteed.
got some cringe.
But then they're singing and dancing.
Well,
Right.
yeah, yes.
There's redeeming qualities, that's for sure.
It's just
So you guys had a good time.
we had a great time.
I agree.
Well,
It was fun.
I think this week's movie, I've been pretty excited about this one for a while because it's just
Zany.
there's just so much. There's just so much to this movie.
Yeah.
A lot. Pleasantly surprised by this movie. It started out
Oh,
and then
good.
it just became hilarious.
I feel like the beginning is the best part when they're roller skating.
That's a really long
Mhm.
intro.
It's
Very long.
uncomfortably long. Where you're
Yeah.
like, we could have skipped over a couple people here. Like we didn't really have to show.
There
this
didn't have to
thing.
be so much roller skating in between the handing out of the invitations.
Right.
Correct. I think it was just to show the hot girls
Yeah.
holding hands.
Yeah.
All right. Midnight Madness is what happens when someone decides that a normal scavenger hunt just isn't unhinged enough and cranks it up to citywide chaos after dark. A group of mismatched teams, ranging from overachievers to total disasters, are thrown into an all night race filled with bizarre clues, ridiculous challenges, and increasingly questionable decision making. As the night spirals on, alliances crumble, egos inflate, and common sense completely clocks out. Landmarks turn into battlegrounds, simple tasks become absurd ordeals, and every team is convinced that they're one clue away from glory, even when they're very much not. Fueled by competition, confusion, and what feels like zero sleep, the race becomes less about winning and more about surviving the madness with your dignity, mostly intact.
That is the best synopsis I think we've had.
Thank you. Thank you very
It's
much.
it really encompasses the madness of Midnight Madness.
Thank you.
Well played.
I put my all into this.
Good.
We-
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
So in this film, we have David Naughton, who is an American actor and singer, best known for his easygoing screen presence and knack for comedy. He was born on February 13th, 1951, in West Hartford, Connecticut, and got his start in entertainment through music and television before landing his breakout film roles in the late 1970s and early 80s. He first caught national attention with a series of popular commercials for Dr. Pepper, complete with the catchy Be a Pepper jingle, which helped launch his career and made him a familiar face to audiences.
Does Janine know the
Now,
Be a Pepper jingle?
Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
seriously,
Okay,
Yeah.
continue. Sorry, I just had to. I
Jeez.
just had to know that.
now we do. And Janine's a freak.
Yeah.
Not
Seriously.
long after,
Thank
he
you.
starred as the quick thinking Eric in Midnight Madness, which showcased his charm and timing as a leader of one of the film's competing teams. Naughton is perhaps even more widely recognized for his role as David Kessler in An American Werewolf in London
Do
in
we have that on our
1981.
list? I think we have
I
that on
don't
our
think
list.
so.
I don't think so. Another one to add.
I'm gonna add it.
A performance that blended humor and horror in a way that became iconic. Over the years, he's continued working steadily across film, television, and theater, building a career defined by versatility and a natural, approachable style.
We also have Deborah Klinger, who is an American actress best remembered for her work in film and television during the late 70s and 80s. Born on April 1st, 1956, in New York City, she stepped into acting at a young age and quickly built a career playing lively, engaging characters with natural on screen warmth. She gained wider recognition for her role as Laura in Midnight Madness, where she brought quick wit to the film's all night adventure. Her performance helped ground the movie's more outrageous moments, giving audiences someone to root for amid the madness. Klinger also appeared in a variety of television shows throughout her career, becoming a familiar face on popular series of the era.
We also have Eddie Deason.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Who's an American actor and comedian known for his unmistakable voice, high energy delivery, and a talent for playing quirky, fast talking characters. He was born March 6th, 1957, in Cumberland, Maryland, and he carved out a unique niche in Hollywood by leaning into roles that others couldn't quite replicate. He gained early recognition in movies like Grease in 1978, where he played the hilariously awkward Eugene, and quickly became a go to performer for eccentric supporting roles. In Midnight Madness, Deason plays Wesley and stands out as one of the film's most memorable personalities, bringing his signature nervous energy and rapid fire humor to the chaos of the race. Beyond live action roles, Deason has had a long and successful career in voice acting, with credits in numerous animated series and films. His distinctive voice made him a natural fit for cartoons, adding another layer to his already varied career. With a style that's instantly recognizable,
Yeah, like he did Dexter's Laboratory. He did Duckman.
Grease
He did
too.
Cow and Chicken. Well, his voice work. Yeah, now
Yeah,
Grease
his
and
voice work.
Grease too, right? He did you mention like Kim Possible? Like all these and SpongeBob.
Yeah, he's
He was
been in
on
so much.
SpongeBob as himself. Like all of these things that like Barrett watched throughout his like childhood. It's just he's never gone away. That's for sure.
Nope.
Yeah. We have Brad Wilkin. He's an American actor, best known for his role in Midnight Madness. While not as
Ooh.
widely recognized as some of his co stars, Wilkin brought a grounded, relatable presence to the film, helping balance its more over the top moments. In Midnight Madness, he plays Scott, one of the competing team members caught up in the film's scavenger hunt. Like many actors tied to the cult classic, his work continues to be appreciated by audiences who revisit the film for its humor and nostalgic charm. Yep, that's all that people know him for. Sorry.
And there's also Maggie Roswell, who is an American actress and voice performer whose career spans live action television, film, and some of the most recognizable animated series in pop culture. She was born on November 14th, 1952, in LA, and began working in entertainment at a young age and steadily built a reputation for her versatility and sharp comedic instincts. She appeared in Midnight Madness as Donna. While her on screen roles established her early career, Roswell became especially known for her voice work, most notably on The Simpsons, where she brought to life multiple beloved characters, including Helen Lovejoy, Maud Flanders, and Miss Hoover. Beyond acting, Roswell has also been active in writing and producing, showing a wide range of creative talents behind the scenes. Her career reflects a rare blend of on camera charm and voice acting excellence, making her a familiar presence to audiences even when they may not immediately recognize her face.
There's Stephen First, who was an American actor, director, and producer, best known for his lovable, offbeat characters and natural comedic timing. Born on May 8th, 1954, in Norfolk, Virginia, he rose to fame in the late 1970s with roles that perfectly captured the awkward underdog audiences who couldn't help but root for. He first gained major attention as Kent Flounder Dorfman in Animal House in '78,
Yeah.
a performance that became iconic and helped define a generation of college comedies. In Midnight Madness, First continued that streak, playing Harold. First later transitioned into television with memorable roles in series like St. Elsewhere and Babylon 5, where he showed greater range beyond comedy. Behind the camera, he also worked as a director and producer, building a career that extended well beyond acting alone. Known for his expressive personality and genuine charm, Stephen First left a lasting impression on both comedy and television, with performances that continue to resonate with fans who appreciate humor with a lot of heart.
But wait, there's more. We also have Alan Solomon, who is an American actor best known for his role in Midnight Madness. In the film, he plays Leon, the energetic mastermind who creates and runs the sprawling all-night scavenger hunt. Outside of Midnight Madness, Solomon's on-screen credits are limited, but his role in the film remains the one he's most associated with. And this was also Michael J. Fox's debut role, credited as Michael Fox.
Michael Fox.
Michael Fox.
And we went over him in Back to the Future. So go back to that episode.
That's what I like. I've always wanted to do if I ever met like a big name star, is to just name their most obscure role. Like, Michael, I really loved you in Midnight Man.
Right?
So you can be like, what the
What
fuck are you
the
talking about?
Not Back to the Future. Not, I really loved you in Midnight Madness. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, yeah. So
That
he
would be
had
funny.
he had a pivotal role in this movie.
He did.
He really did. The movie would not be the same without him.
It really wouldn't. And he really, really leaned into that
He brought it
troubled
all
teenager
together.
trope.
Yeah, he did.
the
So
m-
this was released on February 8th of 1980. So this movie is 46 years old.
50 years old. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy because it doesn't like seem like it when you're watching it. And then you have to go, oh yeah,
Yeah.
you kind of see the disco aspect of it. Yeah, and it was rated PG.
And it was a
And,
Disney, and it was a Disney film.
it was a Disney film.
Yep.
And should we talk about the budget a little bit?
Yeah.
Ugh.
So the budget was
Ugh.
$4.5 million,
Jeez.
which kind of makes sense. They go all over the
That-
place. That van
makes
probably
sense.
costs a lot of money. That's probably got to be at least, I
Yeah.
don't know, back in the 80s. Well,
Well, it's like
late 70s, early 80s. That was probably like,
$17,000 probably.
yeah, it had a computer in it.
It did have a computer in it.
Oh,
probably-
and
It was like AI.
interior,
It was like the original AI.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like it just knew the answers to everything.
the interior
Now-
was awesome.
It was. Well, I like the exterior paint job.
The
Well,
whole
we-
thing was awesome.
It was.
It really was. And he treated it like shit. Now, you ready to find out how much money this made?
Yes.
Drum roll.
$2.9 million. Womp,
Oh.
womp. This was a big loss for Disney.
Yeah. I think it had bigger losses than this movie.
Yeah, but this one was pretty big.
but
But why? Like the concept's there. You had a couple of names in there.
What else came out around that time?
I'm sure we'll hear about why in the verdict or the rewatch verdict. I'm just wondering if they just didn't market it properly.
Maybe.
It had a limited release.
So in February of 1980, key films that were released were American Gigolo, The Fog, Hero at Large, and Cruising. Other notable releases during that month were The Last Married Couple in America, Mad Max, it was the international release, Fatso, and Midnight Madness.
Hmm.
So we can't say that there was another movie that everybody was going to instead.
Well, American Gigolo.
Kramer versus Kramer was actually released in December of 79, but it was still a
Oh.
top performing film in theaters in February of 1980.
Yeah, and I don't.
So-
February just also seems like an odd month to release a movie.
It
But-
also seems as if from January to July of 1980, the economy was in a recession
Was it? Okay.
where inflation went up 13% and soaring interest rates. Yeah, so the economy wasn't doing too well. So put that on top of everything, and people weren't just going out to the movies.
Yeah, they weren't singing, let's go to the movies.
The movies.
Let's
Let's
go
go
see
see
the
the
stars.
So good.
Well, yeah.
Welcome to the movies.
So it does have a
Annie.
legacy to it. There is a Midnight Madness all-night puzzle hunt in New York City,
Love it.
Ooh.
produced by Gotham Immersive Labs. This movie was inspired by something called The Game
Yes.
that occurred in the 1970s. This movie inspired a new version of a non-stop 24 to 48 hour race. And then there's Minnie's Moonlight Madness,
Mm.
which each year hundreds of Disney cast members raise money for charity by participating in a trivia Q&A and scavenger hunt in Disneyland or Disney California Adventure after park operating hours.
Oh my
Hmm.
God, we have to go to that.
Well, we don't work for Disney, but
We have
I-
to figure out a way to go to that.
okay. Or even if it still exists. I don't know.
God, I feel like
Hmm.
we belong there. Anyway, let's talk about shooting locations. Midnight Madness was filmed on location across LA and California, utilizing over 25 spots for the all-night treasure hunt. Key locations include the Griffith Observatory,
Mhm.
the Westin Bonaventure Hotel.
I've stayed there.
Ooh, nice.
I have.
Did you happen to do a scavenger hunt while you were there?
No, and I don't remember that pool deck at all, but
It's probably been redone
I'm sure it's
since
been redone a few times.
Johnny's Coffee Shop on Wilshire Boulevard, Occidental College, Walt Disney Studios, Hollywood Tower, Malibu Grand Prix, LAX Airport Terminal 2, Sherman Clay Steinway Hall, and the Pabst Brewery.
It was a real
Oh.
showcase to the greater Los Angeles area.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They really did use a lot of spots. So that's it. It's like the setting up and tearing down of the filming locations. That's what cost $4.5 million.
Easy.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
You're right.
You ready to get into it?
I was
Let's
born
go.
ready.
So I always seem to get the movie where it's like multiple timelines all happening at the same time. So hopefully this works. This story is about a game. The movie opens up like a horror show in a font I can't even define. It's like the movie starts and then it's like Midnight Madness.
Yes.
And then a disco song starts to play. Midnight Madness. Two girls on roller skates are traversing an LA campus, handing out invitations to 5 different people. The green envelope goes to Levitas. The white envelope goes to Wesley, who's reading Robert's Rule of Order, which I appreciate. The red envelope goes to Donna at the sorority house. I didn't mention Levitas was at the football field. He was playing the football. The blue envelope is handed to Harold, who is in his convertible Mercedes at a drive-in shoving French fries into his mouth. And then the yellow one is handed to Adam, who is on the campus counseling a young lad. Each of them are brought to the Hollywood Tower and are greeted by the Kool-Aid drinking girls, Candy and Sunshine. These 2 girls scare the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
And they're also brought into an apartment that looks like it was definitely the set for Laverne and Shirley.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they are all sitting on metal chairs. They're all brought in. They're all sitting on metal like folding chairs that are all color coded as well. The color coding is like on point.
Yes.
A
They do a great
film-
job.
They did a great job. A film is played about games, history of games, man's relation to games. And the man behind this is Leon, who everyone seems to know and looks like about 4 different guys I went to high school with.
Geek.
Doesn't he? Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
name specific names because I don't want to be an asshole.
He
But, like-
does. He really does.
I may have had a child with one of them.
Whoa.
He explains the game, the great all-nighter. I think there's a misconception that it's called Midnight Madness. It's not. It's called Great All-Nighter.
Correct.
There's a chart. Sunshine helps with a pointer, which we haven't seen in a very long time. So kids, before laser pointers, you had physical pointers that kind of looked like a pool cue. That's all but like you'd use it to point at a chart. And Sunshine helps them understand the chart. And everyone laughs and leaves. They can't believe that they spent their night like listening to this. It's such bullshit. And Candy and Sunshine are just so sad for Leon. But Leon has done so much research. He is confident that all the teams will show up Friday evening. And then we go through some scenes where everybody's got like different shit going on. There's a debate, and the debate's about like why football players suck. There's a sorority mixer, but somehow the sorority mixer, and the sorority consists of Donna, a tiny angry lesbian, and two twins who don't speak English. I don't know. And
they don't speak English because they're from Dolphin Land.
yeah,
Right.
right. We'll get to
They
that.
only speak dolphin.
They only speak dolphin. And this is the sorority that the jocks crash with their keg. And first of all, you don't tap kegs on the side of a keg. That's crazy. That's just movie magic right there.
It was all wrong.
Like you can't, that's a pressurized. Okay. So Adam's counseling, and like you get to Harold, and Harold and his friends are just like hanging out in the foyer of his house, eating Skittles, maybe. I didn't look up what year Skittles came out, but there's a big bowl of them. And Harold is a bigger boy who has a serious eating disorder.
1974.
Oh, okay, great. So I'm just going to break down the teams here. Team 1, Levitas and the Jocks. Blaylock, Cudzo, Gerber, Armpit. They're the meat machine. They're the green team. Team 2, the red team. Donna, the tiny lesbian, and the two squeaky toys. Team 3, the white team, is Wesley and the nerds. Team 4, the blue team, is Harold and his girlfriend Lucille. Melio, who is the only person in this entire movie I think we've, outside of Wesley. Was Melio in Grease and Grease 2? Or was he in just Grease 2? But Melio was in the Greases. Like, he's been in movies. We didn't even talk about him. Barf and Blade. And then Team 5, the yellow team, starts out actually Adam, Laura, and Marvin. And I think we can talk about Marvin. We can talk about the token black guy of the movie.
Yeah.
But he's going to stay home and work on his Jeep. That was not a Jeep.
Yeah, that's not a Jeep.
Toyota took the plans for the Jeep like after World War I or something like that, and they copied it, and it actually ended up becoming the Land Cruiser. So not a Jeep. Marvin. It's not a Jeep.
Not a Jeep. Sorry,
Okay.
buddy.
But Marvin's very good with mechanics, and he's a mechanical mind, so that helps them later. And then there is Lynch. So we're getting into that. They're all about to show up on Friday. Adam and Laura, who are obviously the protagonist love couple of the whole movie, they're about to leave when Flinch is somebody that Adam has been counseling. He's nerdy, doesn't have a lot of self-confidence. Adam fills him with his own fake self-confidence. And Flinch shows up at the counseling office Friday evening. He's wearing a tux. And
that's what you're supposed to wear to special occasions, Kristin.
Yeah. And he stopped by, right? Because we don't have cell phones, to ask what Adam thinks that him and his date should go do that evening.
Shouldn't you have already planned that?
Right. And you've got your tuxes, there's a corsage, everything. And I think for me, this is, I don't know, maybe cringe point number 1, maybe not. Where they open the door to the hallway and they do a close up to a very unfortunate looking girl. She's gangly, she's got acne, she's maybe doesn't have teeth. I don't know. They don't stay on her long enough. And Adam and Laura are like, you're coming with us. You cannot go out with that ugly girl. And you'll thank us for this later. And that was a little heartbreaking. Sure, it was
She
funny.
she
in
might be super
1980.
nice.
It doesn't like. It doesn't even matter. He had a day like that. It was just such a vain and horrible thing to do. So Flint wasn't an original member of the team, but now he is an additional member of the team. Everyone does show up at the Hollywood Tower on Friday, and everyone is given a color-coded sweatshirts. Everyone gets color-coded sweatshirts. And everybody just happens to have color-coordinated transportation.
Yeah, I wondered about that. Like,
So, yeah, it's
they just
all
happen to have that ahead
Disney
of time.
magic, right? So the jocks are green. They have a green punch buggy. The nerds are white, and they're on white mopeds. Harold's team is blue, and Harold's dad has purchased him this big kidnapper's van with blue paint with flames. The red team, which are the sorority girls, have a red pickup truck.
For the
Angry lesbian.
lesbians.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Oh my God. Like, it's just that little redheaded girl. She's just
Creepy.
so funny. And then the yellow team has Marvin's non-Jeep, which is also yellow. So the teams are given the first clue. The first clue is the C is reversed. SSI Tari is mixed up and blind. 38, 22, 23, 56, 10, 11. The teams work on the clue to figure out that it ultimately means see the stars with those coordinates. And everyone goes off into different directions because they all think it means different things. In the meantime, Leon's landlady illegally enters his apartment and is a bitch, and she hates them. So one team goes to the wax museum. Another team goes to the disco. Another team goes to the Walk of Fame, where we get a Mickey Mouse shout out because it's a Disney movie. And then we've got yellow team up on a hill. Red team with the tiny lesbian punches the guy at the disco. Peggy and Lulu are literally dead weight. And I'm not trying to make like a weight joke there. They bring nothing to the table. And they're dancing at the disco. Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to address them. Harold's dad bought him a kidnapper van with flames on it. It has a computer inside that can solve the clues. So they are the first to decipher the clue, which brings them to the Griffith Observatory. Was that in your list of filming locations? Okay. And back at game control, Leon has a full wall map of LA, but it's cartoonish. And it's like a strategy board. And so they've got die cast molds of every piece of transportation and all the different places throughout the city that these teams are going to be led to. And I just thought it's just another one of those things that's don't think too deeply. Don't think too deeply about this movie, that there's die cast magnets of each car type. Just let it go, Kristin. Let it go. Marvin, the yellow team, is the next to solve it because he can see the stars. And they also head to the observatory. Adam tries to get to the telescope, which I can't believe you'd be allowed to operate on your own anyway. And there's a bratty kid like looking through it. He's like just a little fucker. And he's actually just watching a woman undress. The numbers that they were given are coordinates, yada, yada, yada. It takes them to basically a digital billboard, I believe it was. And to unlock the next clue, find the 8,800 keys. Meanwhile, the neighbors who are supposedly complaining about Leon show up at Leon's, and he invites them in. And I think you described him perfectly at the beginning. It's just like, he seems to just, he's like super laid back, but he also seems to be surprised by human beings. And he invites them to come in, and they love it. And the grandma was like, I used to work a strategy board in the war. And they're all just like, really excited to be a part of it. And oh, what was his name? John Fielder is Wally Thorpe. So the people that come into the apartment first are Wally and Edna Thorpe and Wally's mother. And John Fielder was a very, very, very well-known person who, I believe he was Piglet. He was Piglet. I was a little off on that.
That makes more sense.
He was Piglet, but he was in movies like 12 Angry, but like he was like the most famous person outside the landlady. I'll talk about the landlady, but he was like a cameo kind of appearance. But Wally Thorpe or John Fielder, very well known. So now we have the blue team at the Los Angeles Piano Museum. And everyone gets out and goes to the museum, but Harold's in the van shoving like not regular marshmallows, like the jumbo marshmallows into his mouth. And his girlfriend Lucille gets wind that he's doing something bad. And so to hide the marshmallows, he lifts up the computer base and shoves the marshmallows to hide them underneath the computer screen. The yellow team. The yellow team is going to have some struggles through this whole movie. And they start with Michael Fox, but also Adam's a douche. And so they are driving, they do discover Scott. Is it Scott or Scotty? No.
I think it's both. I think he's referred to as
It was
both.
both. Okay. So he's sitting on a park bench and Adam sees him and goes to get him and just immediately is, you're a problem in my life. And if I wasn't doing this game, I would take you home, but I can't. So you're going to come on this thing with me. Back at the piano museum, the blue team finds it's like a tiny baby piano and it says Leon's theme and there's stanza. I don't know if that's the right word. And so Lucille knows the notes. And so they write down all the letters and they leave. They're like, we got it. And Harold, I think it's a little later on, but Harold tries to like put that all into the computer, but the computer just dies. And he lifts it up and all the marshmallows have melted. And so his computer is ruined. It was only good for 2 clues. And now they're
Yeah, his dad probably paid like $4 million for it.
like he's screwed. And then the next people to see the little baby piano are the jocks, and which I love. Blaylock solves because they don't each know how to play piano, which it's just adorable. Blaylock solves it that it's the Pabst Blue Ribbon Brewery theme, and he shouts it so loud that every team hears it. So they all thank him. Thanks, Blaylock. Everyone's headed basically to the PBR brewery at that point, which I find interesting because they're all a bunch of underaged kids. Maybe some of them aren't.
Was the drinking age 18 back then?
Because in the scene at the bar with the angry bartender, it says you must be 21.
Oh, I
To
didn't
consume.
even notice that.
But I'm thinking maybe some of them were 21. Anyway, so the red team loses Peggy and Lulu to a fair. What's upsetting here is that each of them are holding like a garbage bag full of peanuts as if they're elephants. That's fucked up. So Donna and Angry Lesbian have to go find, I gotta stop calling her that. I actually don't even know what her name was. She was just a really bad actress. So anyway, Donna parks in a no parking zone so they can go and find Peggy and Lulu. So now the blue team actually has to solve this clue on their own, but they just have letters. So they're getting nowhere. Green team, which were the first to solve it, are the first to get to the tour. And Blaylock is very emotional. This is a very emotional thing for him because he just loves beer so much. The red team find Peggy and Lulu by tracking them down by the trail of like sold out food and empty food wrappers.
Wow.
Green team, continuing on their tour, think Blaylock has calmed down. He jumps over a banister and dives into a vat of beer. Okay, Scott. Okay. So Scott, Adam's brother, tries to get a beer from the PBR bar. And the bartender is very mad and wet. And he blows a whistle. And that gets all of the yellow team kicked out. However, that leads them to the next clue, which is painted or drawn onto the sides of the beer boxes. And the clue is it's a picture of Leon with a talking bubble saying Mr. Carson's obese male child, which equals Johnny's Fat Boy Burgers. So yellow team now has the clue. Blue team has the entire computer out. They're trying to fix it, but they completely destroy it. They have this like silent friend. His name's Blade, and he has a blade. And he's just, I don't know what, it's just funny. It's just good humor. The red team at the fair, they find Peggy and Lulu sitting on a guess your weight bench, which is weighing in at 550 pounds for the two of them.
For fuck's sake, girls, like focus on the game.
Green team, Blaylock now swims out of the beer vat. Back at Mission Control, more neighbors are upset. They come in. Wally, remember Wally? He invites them in. Everybody comes in. Everybody's having a great time. It's a great time at Leon's. The blue team sabotages the yellow team's Jeep.
Not a Jeep.
Blade uses his blade to let the air out of the tires, which I thought was very PG, but not actually slash the tires. He just like pushed it into the pin so the air came out. So now they're all at Johnny's Fat Boy Burgers. The next clue reads, Leon's special. Have a seat and enjoy. Look between the two giant melons. Everyone is now eating melon until the waitress drops a tray and everyone zeroes in on the necklace hanging between her breasticles. And then everyone starts destroying shit. It's super cringy. This whole scene is so cringe. And they just destroy the fucking place, trying to get her attention so they could see the necklace. She ends up falling. No one gives a shit. The necklace flies off, ends up in some dirty soup bowl. Wesley, I believe it was Wesley, gets the necklace as they're all clamoring to get it. And it says, hug me. As they're all leaving, they have their next clue. They're all leaving. Lucille sees that there's a fat boy doll and needs Harold to buy that for her. They're walking. Yellow team's walking, and Laura's a little chilly. Adam's going to do the old reach around, but he has no game. Bro has no game. Flinch? Is his name Flinch? I think it is. He like does the anagram of hug me and comes up with Huge M. Huge M is apparently a miniature golf place. But they get to the not Jeep and they realize all the tires have been flattened. At the same time, Harold and his stupid van and friends come up and Harold just says stupid, cringy things to him. And Adam calls Harold a beached whale. Adam also has zero responsibility for his brother as he comes up with the idea that Flinch and he will hitchhike basically to the golf place. Marvin's going to call the automobile club. And hey, Laura, be pretty, watch my brother. The green team's still at the brewery. They never actually even go to Johnny's Fat Boy Burgers. Red team, their truck's now being towed. But what is that girl's name? Because I'm just going to keep calling her angry tiny lesbian.
I'll look.
Yeah, thank you. She steals the tow truck and they get their truck back. Laura can't find Scott. And she's very worried. But Scott, he's just off a few feet. He's just petting a dog in the back of a car. Back when you could have station wagons that had the rear window go down. Don't have that anymore, really. So Scott's petting the dog. He loves the dog. Today's his birthday. Adam and Flint are hitchhiking to the golf place. There are no cars. They're just on an empty LA street. The slowest car ever approaches with these like 100-year-old couple in it. Then they get in. And as soon as they start rolling along, like the street just becomes flooded with cars, which I thought was funny. They end up at some point just walking out of the car because the car is just going so slow. They don't have to fucking roll. They just get out of the car. And then Flint hijacks a car from two girls and just automatically just becomes a G.
That girl's name is Burl.
Burl?
Burl, played by actress Robin Petty.
Okay.
That's her first name?
Burl.
Burl.
Berle. Burl.
That's her first name.
Okay. To all the angry tiny lesbians out there, I'm sorry.
That are named Burl.
That are named Burl.
Yeah, sorry, Burl
sorry,
ladies.
Burl ladies. Okay, so I don't even remember how the blue team even figured out it was the miniature golf place. That's escaping me right now. But they're the first ones to get there. And they immediately go to cheat. Because it was like, there's color-coded envelopes at the beginning of the game. And to get the next clue, you got to play through. But they go to 18 and they get like an envelope and it's I told you not to come to the 18. Now you've lost your ball. The green team, as they're driving, because they're just like, well, we lost, right? We lost. They see the red team. I don't remember. They get back in the game somehow. They see somebody. I think it's the red team. Back to yellow team. Yellow team is at the golf place because they've all kind of gotten there at the same time. Like Marvin's being able to get his car fixed in the time it took Adam and Flint to get there, but they all arrive at the same time. And Scott tries to help his brother. Like he's been here, he understands, he's played this way. And Adam wants nothing to do with this kid, right? He just thinks he's a drain on society. So Adam's a douche. Whatever. The next clue, which I think might have been found by the green team, I don't remember, is look at xylophones initially, 5:30 a.m. And I believe it's the yellow team that deciphers it. So the first letter of each of the words, look at xylophones, comes to LAX. 5:30 a.m. is a radio station. They get to LAX, so they see the 5:30 a.m. to tune into 5:30 a.m. And it is Leon on the radio telling them that the clue is inside Terminal 3. So they're all in Terminal 3. This was before TSA, which I know most people today don't know a day before, like before TSA. But they did have a metal detector there, which I thought was interesting because Hopkins never had a metal detector. We just kind of like walked in, did whatever we wanted.
Oh my God, we used to hang out there.
Yeah.
Just like on the weekend, head to the airport, walk around the airport, watch people leave.
It had a
come
really
back.
nice lounge area.
Yeah.
Like
Now-
where TSA pre-check is right now. Like in that area, there's a really nice little lounge.
Yeah.
Like Barrett was even alive when we could just walk in there. Anyway, so Hare Krishnas are trying to hand out literature, but nobody wants to pay any attention to them. And I think it's white team that kind of is like the first ones inside. And they throw it away on the literature. It's like a Hare Krishna Leon. And everyone's looking around. And that's when it was like, blue team is there and they're like, come on, Blade. And Blade's like standing before the metal detector and he's not me and my blade. None of them actually end up looking at this like literature until I think it's Harold kind of like hits them all out of one of the guy's hands and it goes everywhere. And one of the guys on blue team, not Melio, the other guy, but oh, hey, it's Leon. So the next clue reads, His Holiness says you're off your rocker if you don't look inside of the locker. So all the teams have color-coded lockers, which have color-coded gifts. Inside each gift is a puzzle, which contains Polaroid of someone about to sit in a chair, the letter E, a photo of a safety pin, and a red ball. This ultimately takes them to Pinball City. Yellow team solves it first, and we see Pee Wee Herman.
Hell yes.
And it's an interesting cameo, right? Because at that time he wasn't a cameo, right? He was just him.
No, yeah.
And I don't even know how he was billed in the credits.
Ooh, hold on.
Was he, but not given a name? Was he Pinball City guy?
Pretty much, yeah. He was like pinball handler.
Okay. And was it Paul Rubens?
Yes.
Okay. But he is playing the Pee Wee character, that's for sure. And Pee Wee's been around since what, the 70s? Yeah. So that's just great. It's just great to see. Leon is now Madame Leona. The clue is play the Starfire video game, beat the machine, and you'll see the next clue. And it's Star Wars. But I also seem to remember this game. So I don't know if that was a real game or if I'm just remembering it wrong, but I feel like I've played that game, but I don't remember it being called Starfire. I don't know. The team can't beat it, and Scott thinks they're all idiots, but he uses a different word. Pee Wee has a change gun, which is hilarious. And Scott tells Laura how he can win it in one shot, but he's not going to help. Laura convinces him to do an assist, and Adam doesn't trust him to win it, but he does. He does win the game. And there's a video from like an alien Leon saying that the finish line is somewhere in the Bonaventure Hotel. Adam does not acknowledge Scott in any way, doesn't thank him. He just starts running for the door. And everyone on that team is kind of like, you're gross. And they get into the not Jeep because they're going to head to the Bonaventure Hotel. And Scott is very upset. And he runs away. He runs out of the back of the car.
Starfire is a real video game, by
Is
the
it?
way. Yeah,
Okay.
I meant to say something about that.
Okay. Yeah, because it seems familiar. So I think we might have.
I think it was from the Atari originally.
Okay. So Scott runs off, but Adam doesn't give a shit. Like gives no fucks. And he's like, all right, guys, we got to go. And we can win this. We can win this. And the team is just, no, bro. No, we're going to go find Scott. We're going to go find your brother. And Adam is still a douche. Like this isn't, oh yeah, guys, you know what? You're right. No, he literally takes Marvin's car and they're all like, the game doesn't matter. Your brother matters. The game doesn't matter. And Adam leaves. I just have to pause there. Like, this guy's fucking horrible.
He's the jerky older brother.
He's just horrible. He's a horrible person.
Douche.
And I don't know why Laura would see anything in this guy at all. Back at Pinball City, green, red, and white are all there. And they all have a Pinball City fight with like foam balls and like prizes and
Stuffed animals.
Stuffed animals. White team tries to go play the game, but like they destroy the game. Ooh, when Adam the douche drives off by himself to go by himself win this game. Laura yells after him saying, "You didn't even remember it's his birthday." Because that is what gets into his brain and ultimately is the cause for him to return. Back at Leon's, the landlady brings a cop, and the cop comes in and he immediately is, "Oh my God, is that the old CB radio? Blah, blah, blah." And the landlady takes the CB radio, smashes it on the floor, and proceeds to call the black police officer an ape. Back to the deserted yellow team. Flinch apologizes to Laura because Adam's a dick face. I didn't get that. Like, why? Mm. Adam returns. The green team escapes Pinball City and they know where they're going to go. And when they leave the parking lot, they hit the red team's truck, which must have been in neutral because it just rolls off a cliff. The mission control has now, they have to move to the Bonaventure Hotel. And so Leon and Candy and Sunshine you got to pack up, they got to go. But all the neighbors want to come too. So everyone, and the cops are like, well, we want to go too. Everyone wants to go. One of the two of the cops are outside arresting the landlady. One of the cops is like, what about the old bag? And the other guy's, dump her in the back seat and we'll take her along. So everyone's on their way to the Bonaventure. Game control and all of the neighbors are in this like standard hotel room. The teams all arrive at the hotel and they're just ripping the hotel apart. And then there's the front desk clerk goes to the security guy who's just like polishing like a full ass gun. That's
I mean, you would definitely need one of those in a hotel.
right. At a 5-star hotel in like Beverly Hills. Yes.
Yeah, you never know what could happen. Mountain lions.
Right. Like, and then like later on, it's like there's 17 security guards. Like what? And they all have guns. Red and white are all in the lobby on the mopeds. How do they even get in the lobby on the moped? So they get kicked out, but they get back in posing as employees, as like valet and like housekeeping. So green is running around, red and white's been kicked out, yellow and blue are all both running around as well. And a lady comes to check in and she's got like her poodle. She's like a very rich lady and she's got a lot of luggage. And I just the line that stuck out to me was that front desk agent. And he's just, here is always the perfect gentleman, like referring to the dog.
Yes.
So chaos ensues. Everyone is summoned to a courtesy phone. Look in the pool area. This expressly. Back in the room, the landlady is in cuffs in the hotel room in her robe, cuffed, sitting on the bed. And she scoots over, is able to remove the receiver from the cradle and dial the security extension number with her nose. And she's telling the security guy who's got the gun and smoking a cigar, she's like laughing while she's like talking to him. She's like, you want to get some hooligans? You should come to 2704. And how did she know the extension?
I feel like she dialed a full ass phone number though.
No, she dialed 3 digits.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
it looked
4.
like
Maybe
it
4.
was.
But it wasn't like a 7-digit number. But she knew it. Like, anyway, Adam figures out that they need to take the elevator because it is an express elevator. All the other teams end up in the pool, except blue team. Blue and yellow team are still in it, but every other team ends up pushing each other into the pool. So they just all end up in the pool. Yellow team is higher in the elevator than blue team. Blue team's in the second elevator. And yellow team discovers that on the pool deck, like the kind of white wooden chairs you use for weddings had been arranged in a way that said room like 2704. And so they're jumping up and down. They should have just stayed stone face, but they didn't. And blue team sees what they're all excited about. So blue team also knows that they have to get to the 27th floor, except they're in an express elevator that's going to the 35th floor, which is where the restaurant is. Today it's like LA Prime. I don't know what it was then, but there's like a guy vacuuming. So they can't stop at 27. They have to go to 35 and then go all the way back down to 1. Now, wouldn't you have just gotten off at 35 and gone down the 8 flights?
But who knew if there was even a set of stairs there?
Fire code. Everybody has to have stairs.
This was 1980, Kristin. They didn't
Right.
have fire codes back then.
Prehistoric times. And then all of a sudden, so they all get to 1, and somehow Blue Team Harold has access to the elevator control room, where it's one button to turn off all of the elevators. This is his plan, is that he's going to turn off all of the elevators, not leave one on for them. And it shuts down the elevator that all the security guys are in to go up to the 27th floor because of the call from the landlady. The yellow team is also in an elevator. So when everything gets shut down, the security guys are stuck in an elevator and yellow team is stuck in an elevator. Blue team has decided to walk from the 1st floor to the 27th floor. Marvin says he could jimmy the lock if they only had a piece of metal, which Scott pulls out his like top retainer, and Marvin uses that to get the elevator to turn back on. Blue and yellow reach the 27th floor at the same time, but like the elevator, like it's you can tell it's a set, but like the elevators are on the north wall and the east wall. Like that doesn't make sense. Anyway, stuff happens. Adam grabs and uses the retainer to turn the elevator back on. The security guys run out. Harold had been holding a fire hose because he was going to spray the yellow team, but he ends up spraying the security guards. And the security guards basically arrest Harold. Yellow team wins. They come into room 2704. Everyone's there. Everyone's happy. And now everyone's back down in the lobby. And there's a huge buffet. There's a huge
Was
buffet.
it huge? Because I feel like there was like 5 things on there.
Okay.
Like strawberries, some like melons, and then some potato salad or something.
Hold on.
Maybe there's 7 items, but still, it's like, what? This doesn't even make any sense.
Wait. It was really nice of Leon to put together this. They've all got some champagne. Peggy and Lulu just have gobs of food in their hands, and they're laughing with the nerds. Scott gets a birthday cake.
Yes.
I love that for him.
There's just random people all behind them too. Like never, like they
Just
aren't
random
even, they're not
hotel
even
guests.
the neighbors. Just like now they're all gone. And so Leon presents them with their trophy.
It's just a plaque.
It's just a plaque. It is a plaque. And he's warding them with the plaque. And at the same time, Harold and the blue team are being escorted out by the security guards. And Harold sees a bowl of strawberries and becomes overwhelmed and just breaks free and just starts shoving fruit in his mouth. Lucille is like, no, no, no. He's eating ham and sausages. And he picks up like this whole plate of like
It looks like potato salad.
potatoes. I was like, it looked like really big couscous. And he just bashes her in the face with it. And it like she goes back into the fountain, which I don't know. I thought that was hilarious. Adam's a douche. He kisses Laura. They're in love. The end.
Okay, what do you win?
The plaque.
So they went to all this fucking trouble to win a $3 plaque.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry. No.
You're up all night. You get no
You're
sleep.
up all night.
Well, no.
You-
Leon does say at the beginning is that you have the prestige of winning.
and you get a buffet and some champagne when you're underage.
Well,
And
some of them.
probably a piece of Scott's birthday cake.
Prestige.
So
Yeah.
throughout the movie, I kept thinking, did I miss what the prize is?
No, he
Because
Me
says
too.
it at the beginning.
Well,
I thought there was money.
okay. Yeah. I was like, these people are running around like they're in it for $1 million.
Yes.
Like and I was like, I don't think that's the case. What did I miss here? And I didn't miss anything.
No, you didn't miss
But,
anything.
Yeah, this
Like
was
when they go into the room, there's like the old dude, the guy who does the voice of Piglet, and he's holding a bunch of money in his hand. And I was like, oh, they must be winning money. And then I realized,
No, they
no,
were
I think they were
betting.
all betting on
Yeah.
them. And I'm like, so
Mhm.
wait, they got money, but like the
Right.
kids who did all this fucking work, they win a stupid plaque and
Right.
a buffet full of
So the
potato
neighbors made
salad and
bank.
strawberries.
Neighbors made bank. They all made money off of this. Something to steal the legal.
Yeah. This was very anticlimactic for the players.
But like they were all in it, right?
Oh, whoop-de-doo. They get to walk around and be like, oh, yeah, remember that, like, citywide scavenger hunt? Yeah, like, me and my team won it. Who cares? Or you're, like,
Right.
trying to pick up a lady or something and be like, yeah, well, I won that scavenger hunt. I'm pretty cool.
Exactly. Oh.
I don't get it.
Well, it was the 80s. It was a crazy time.
Yeah, I guess it really was.
Okay. So was there critical acclaim on this? Did anyone even actually review this movie?
Sure he does. He doesn't even know I exist.
So it shows online. If you Google search what the tomato meter rating is, AI will say that the tomato meter is 44% and rotten.
Oh,
But if you actually look at the tomato meter, there is no score.
It's so weird.
really?
Yeah, there's only 3 reviews, and one of them is in Spanish. The other one is just 1 star. It doesn't even have a review. And then the third one is Roger Ebert, who's the only person who actually, I guess, watched it. And he gave it a 1 out of 4 stars. And his review was in 2004.
Okay.
And he said it's a pleasant, well-meaning little comedy, and it's obviously trying for the same kind of innocent, sophomoric humor that was so charming in junior high school, but it just doesn't have the same magic.
What?
Right. But now the popcorn meter gives it 70% based off of 2,500 plus ratings.
This is like rad. Right?
Yeah.
Like nobody actually reviewed it, but it's like all these other 80s films.
Yeah.
Like they just have
Cult following.
a cult following.
Carol, where did you watch it?
I watched it on Archives.
Okay. And I watched it on a website called OK Social Network, which is a Russian social network,
Right.
which may or may not be safe to visit. So you are welcome to try it if you'd like, but warning from the Shermer High Alumni Association that
Don't do what Janine did.
maybe don't do what I did. But
I bought it on Amazon Prime for $4.98.
I love that for you, that
So
you
now
can
I
watch
own
it.
it until the end of time.
I
You can
might
watch
do
it all the
that.
time.
Yeah.
So you can watch it on YouTube, Apple TV, Amazon Prime Video, Google Play Movies, Fandango at home, And right now it appears that on all those platforms to rent it is $3.99.
So interesting. So is it still making money?
So weird.
I hope.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But it
No
says
clue.
the film's critical reception was historically poor upon its release. Today, it is largely viewed as a cult favorite, which is reflected in the significantly higher audience rating compared to the few available critic reviews.
Which makes sense. Yeah, I think it was a limited release. I think they decided to cut their losses because they're Disney and they could, right? Without it hurting their bottom line. And they just decided not to release it nationally. So it never got released nationally.
I guess it kind of makes sense.
No. And then
I'm guessing.
What a shame.
I know. And then in 85, when it came out on, I think it was 85, when it came out on VHS, I think it did well in the rental market. But by then it's too late. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's a movie that just slipped through the cracks.
Just makes you think about, right, like, how did movies get marketed? I know there's an answer to that. But I know that we really relied on movie reviews, the newspaper. So yeah, we wouldn't have even known this movie
And
existed.
previews, I would guess, like at other
Previews.
movies.
Well, I wouldn't have even
Posters.
known the movie existed until it came out on VHS because I most likely never even got released in Cleveland.
Probably not. Yeah. But it just made sense in my brain, even though I don't know what the Love Boat correlation with a ship is. So
The Love Boat.
soon we'll be making another run.
I'm sending this
Setting
to
a
my
course
princess
for
business development management.
everyone. Set a course for adventure. Your mind's on a new romance.
You can't have the whole piece of Brum.
And love won't hurt anymore. Do 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 do. Come aboard. We're expecting you, the love bug.
Are you making that up or is that like
don't
really
know.
the words?
I don't know. It's just coming to my brain.
This is your free talent.
And how do you make money off of that?
Wow.
If somebody just mentions something, this is how my brain works, is that there's music associated with it.
I love it.
Isn't that called something? Like if you see in music or you smell color or something like that?
I don't know. All I know is that like if you say certain words or if you say like certain like phrases or it always is associated with music. Always.
You could go
And
on a
theme song.
stand-up tour.
To sing theme songs to random shows?
Yeah. Like a showgirl. You could sit on top of a piano.
In a sequin dress
Yeah.
that has a slit up the side.
I bet we could get you a residency in Vegas. Maybe in the Sphere.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And I can sing weird songs.
Oh, speaking of Vegas, my boss's 15-year-old daughter is obsessed with Elvis.
Oh.
Obsessed.
He
Okay.
groomed a
And
child.
Priscilla Presley is going to be at the Westgate next Saturday. So they are flying out next Friday to go spend the weekend in Vegas to see Priscilla.
Is Priscilla singing?
I don't know what she's doing,
She doesn't sing.
but she's going to be at the
Guitar.
Westgate for some event. So
She's like
I was like, oh,
90
my
years
sister-in-law's also obsessed with Elvis.
I can't be anymore because he groomed a child.
He did.
Yeah, we can't. I used to like him quite a bit, but he groomed a child.
At a different time.
Doesn't matter.
He was just in love. And he did drugs.
No,
A lot.
because somebody else set him up with a child,
That's true.
and then he was all like, yeah, a child. Move into my house, and my whole family is going to teach you how to be my wife. That's grooming.
That's a cult.
That's how
Maybe
it
he
gets
was part
started,
of the.
folks.
Was he part of LDS?
I
No.
don't think so, no. Wasn't he Baptist or something? Yeah, I thought he was Baptist.
Baptist. So where are you putting this on the cringe scale?
I enjoyed it so much. I really did not pay attention to cringe. I just thought it was like the somewhat Disney version of Animal House. And I cracked up the whole time. I was saying before we started recording, I laughed at this way more than Caddyshack. I
That's
just thought it
funny.
was a a cool plot, subpar acting, and just hilarious. So I didn't really pay attention to much cringe unless it just didn't really pop out at me. But I totally loved it, and I think I might purchase it for under $5 to watch at any time. The sisters dolphin squeals really got to me after a while, and I wanted to throw something at the TV. But other than that, I really didn't notice much cringe. I'm sure it was there, but there's so much going on at all times. It was hard for my tiny brain to calculate it. So I'm going to give it a not really. And I think it aged well. I would actually really like to see a remake of this.
Okay.
And now I'm going to analyze who I want to see in the remake.
Okay.
And I'll get back to you on that.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh boy. I'm going to point out some cringy parts. Leon's relationship with Candy and Sunshine.
What cringy
Like,
about that?
is he dating them?
What does it
Like
matter?
he's sitting in the chair and like rubbing their butts and stuff. And
In college.
it's just weird. Something about
Okay.
it's weird. The switchblade dude, which is stereotypical because he's the only Hispanic person in the movie. And
I
of
have to give
course,
them props for 1980 to have any people of color in the
yeah,
movie. At all.
listen, I get it. The asking Flinch if he's a virgin, that was the fact that they like closed the door on the nerdy girl and were like, yeah,
Aw.
you're not going out with her. The peanuts in the back of the truck for the dolphin girls. The look between the melons, that it was like, look at it. They referred to boobs as melons. That's
I mean,
a
that
little-
melons was boobs was the first thing I thought of.
right. But
Mhm.
it's still, if we're talking about a little bit of cringy, it's a little cringy.
Yeah.
The landlady calling the police officer an ape. Adam.
Adam, period.
Adam. Period.
Period.
And just having the token black guy. Just
Token
one
Hispanic guy.
and token Hispanic guy. So those
Yeah.
are the cringy points. So I will give it a kinda. And I also wanted to say that since I've never seen it and never really heard of it before, I actually enjoyed it. I thought the premise of the movie is cute. It's
Yeah.
a good idea. I think that it was fun. It was exciting. It was funny. Little tiny baby Michael J. Fox. I think,
Pee Wee Herman?
well, that's
Yeah,
the-
given.
that's a whole nother level. Like the fact that Pee-wee plays just this phenomenal role, and he's dressed like a cowboy, right?
Right.
Or did I make that up? Okay, so he's just like a cowboy. He's got a gun that dispenses change. He's like the proprietor of a pinball store. It's just everything about it is fantastic. And just the fact that he was in it and I had no idea until he showed up in the movie, and I was like, oh my God, yes. I was so excited. I had no idea he was in this movie at all. I was so excited when I saw him. So because of that, and because I love Pee-wee so much, that I will rewatch it. I don't think that I'm going to sit down and like from start to finish rewatch it. But if for some reason it was ever
The question
on,
is, if it's on TV,
yeah. Oh yeah.
are you going to watch? If it's on Saturday, are you going to watch it?
If I'm like flipping through Sling and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, Midnight Madness is on. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah. I'm going to agree with most of what you said. This has always been a favorite movie of mine. or more specifically, it's always been one of my claim to fames of just really terrible 80s movies that our parents had us watch. Because Tavia will name any The King and I, nope, haven't seen it. Gone with the Wind, nope, haven't seen it. She would name like every Platoon, nope, haven't seen it. Stuff like that. If it was a good movie or an award-winning movie, like those weren't the movies we watched in our house. We watched Midnight Madness and Mr. Mom, things like that. That's the household we grew up in. It was weird.
Correct.
And so this is a pivotal movie for me in that genre of movies that we grew up with. Well, apparently it was just me, not you two. So I agree. I'm just going to put it right there at kind of cringe because it does have these tropes in it that are just like, oh.
Yeah,
Like,
I forgot to
remember
mention
when it
like
was
the
really
kind of fat shaming.
Yeah, remember when it was super fun to fat shame, like that kind of stuff? It was like the thing like Blade. I didn't find anything really offensive with that, or Marvin. I didn't find anything offensive with their characters.
Not offensive, just sort of like, of course you made like the Mexican guy
it's
as
like
a switchblade guy, like
right, it's Adventures in Babysitting. That how it was Latinos on the train that were the
Yeah.
only ones with the knives and the fighting. No, yeah, I get that
exactly.
100%. No, I don't think Marvin was singled out as being token black guy. I don't think he was. I think he was just a college student working on his not Jeep and was a smart dude. I don't think there was anything remarkable about that. But the fat shaming, I think, is really what got to me. If anything, it was really that. So I'll put it at the low end of kinda. And if it was on TV, I would absolutely watch it. Absolutely. I agree with you. It's a fun movie. It's a fun movie.
Yeah, it's cool because when you're watching it, you're like rooting for people. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, what's going to happen next?
Yeah.
And how are they going to do this? And oh no, now they're going to lose. And then so you're kind of like intrigued and it keeps you like engaged.
Engaged. Yeah.
So I think
Like
that's
who's gonna win?
right. That's what's cool about it because there aren't a lot of movies that are like that.
Should Yellow have won? I'm sure we could do an entire podcast on whether or not Adam should have won this thing. But I guess
Yeah.
above Harold,
White team should have won. I'm rooting for the nerds.
white or red would have been good to me.
Yeah, I think
Now Peggy and Lulu really ruin it.
yeah. I think I would vote for the white team.
Yeah. I just don't know how within a second Adam is completely redeemed as a human being. What?
No, he's still a
What?
douche.
There are some serious red flags with this dude.
Well, Laura doesn't see it.
No, she does not. She probably will in 30 years when they get divorced.
If I'm lucky, I may be able to get a view of Venus's 2 moons.
Midnight Madness, a movie that taught us an important life lesson. If a man named Leon shows up offering you a mysterious all-night citywide game with cryptic clues and no supervision whatsoever, don't say that sounds fun. Instead, say, sorry, I have plans with my dog.
This movie also gave us a surprise dose of chaos, courtesy of Pee Wee Herman, doing exactly what he does best, being wonderfully weird and somehow both helpful and confusing at the same time. Paul Rubens' presence feels oddly sincere, like a reminder that the best kind of weird doesn't need explaining or justification. It just deserves to be appreciated.
Thanks for joining us at the Shermer High Alumni Association. If you had as much fun as we did, hit follow, leave a review, and share this episode with your fellow 80s movie lovers. Until next time, be kind and don't forget to rewind. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Good job. Real proud
Thank
of
you.
I love that.
The Love Boat, do-do-do. Soon we'll be making another run.
How do you know
Set a
these?
course for
I don't know.
adventure. Your mind's on a new romance.
You couldn't even remember
This
the
is how
word love boat. Yeah.
right.